Good. Tuesday afternoon, evening. Jesus Christ. I don't know. You know how it is. It's the COVID, and you don't know what day it is. Tuesday evening, 8 o'clock. Mass Comedian X alongside Big Ace. And we have, as you can see, a special guest right here. There he is from IPW, Matty Starr. Great to have you with us, sir.
Thanks for being. I appreciate you having me.
So it's COVID. How you holding up down there?
I'm keeping sane for now. We'll see. We're a week and a half in. We'll see what they said April 30th now. So
yeah,
we'll see how the next few weeks go.
Well, you guys have shelter in place going down there as well?
Not yet. But getting attacked by kitties. Iowa's been about a week behind like the surrounding states. So I'm currently getting there. Yep. Hi.
He's jealous.
Yep. So we've been about a week behind all the surrounding states, and Illinois and Wisconsin were the first ones to do not shelter in place, but they were the first ones to do no restaurants, no gyms, all that stuff. And then like a week later we started. So the minute anyone around us does it, I can't imagine we won't.
Yeah. We got it up here in Minnesota, and I think it's did he extend it here also? Ace, do you recall? I think he did.
Yeah.
I think he did. But it's fine. We can The interesting part about it is that I read today 78% of the jobs in Minnesota are deemed essential. So basically, more than 3/4 of the people are still out there. And it's frightening. But anyway, one of the big things that is affecting is wrestling. And gosh, when was the last time you had a match?
Last time I had a match was pre this. This is my quarantine beard going on.
Nice.
I'm trying. Yeah. My last match was probably a week before everything kind of went down. I wrestled at Rugged Pro in Marshalltown, and I wrestled Yellow Dog, who you Minnesota guys should know that name fairly well. And and like 4 or 5 days later, it was like, oh, no more wrestling shows potentially through the whole summer. So
that's
yay.
So crazy. Oh, it's so crazy.
It's so brutal, man.
I'm familiar with Maddie, and we've known each other for a while. Excuse me. Maddie's also been a guest on the Briscoe and Big Ace show, which was a really great episode early on for us.
A lot of fun. A lot of Bob's Burger talk. That's what I remember. So, I mean, what else is there to really talk about? You know?
Right. So, guys, check that out too. But one of the things that Maddie, you've always stood out since I've seen you day one at the first IPW show I went to, is you're my favorite heel.
Yeah,
you are. Like anytime I go to the show, I'm just Maddie's on the card. Great, I'm gonna love it. You are awesome, dude.
Thank you.
You really
Thank you.
And it's
appreciate
been cool
that
because you've gotten some cool matches out of it. Didn't you had Ultimo Hall of Fame, right? Ultimo.
Oh wow,
yeah. So funny story. Funny thing that this cat that's currently trying to attack me right now. I was just moving into this house that I just moved into last summer, and I got a call from the promoter, and he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like disgusting, like sweating, and like I'd long since turned the AC off, like when you're just trying to frantically get out, So I was like, just trying to avoid not having to pay an extra month's rent. Like, what's up, dude? And he goes, you got time to talk? And I'm like, not really. And he goes, no, you want to talk? And I'm like, oh, all right. Like I kind of stopped what I was doing. And he goes, how do you feel about wrestling Ultimo Dragon? And I was like, come on, dude. Like, fuck off. No, wait, shut up. Like, come on. And he's like, no, seriously. And there was like a really long, like awkward silence. And I was waiting for the laugh or waiting for the, haha, just kidding. You're going to wrestle, John Smith or, whatever. And that never came. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll do that. Like, is he okay? Does he know that? Like I'm down, but I don't think he's going to be nearly as excited as I am. Right. And then he goes, no, we're going to announce it tomorrow, but I just wanted to make sure you're okay with it. Yeah. Yeah. Are you asking me if it's okay that I wrestle Ultimo Dragon? Yeah.
Right.
And it was wild, right? So they announced it the next day. And I mean, like 10 minutes after they put the poster up on Facebook and like all the social media, my phone just starts blowing up. A lot of, like coworkers and friends and family, like, oh, dude, this is awesome. This is so cool. And it should have been, I mean, it was super cool, but at the moment when my phone was blowing up, I was kind of little insider scoop. This cat right here that's off screen clawing my hand was in this house for the first time, and she was really nervous, and she had jumped up really high. And so I went to pick her up and bring her down, and she clawed my lip and opened up like almost all the way through, like all the way down here. So I'm in my bathroom standing over the sink, just like gushing blood because my cat got scared, and my phone is like, it should have been like, this is the coolest day ever. And I'm like, put my lip back together. Like friends going, oh, hey, cool. This is so awesome. I'm like, yeah, thanks. I'm going to bleed to death.
Oh, that's crazy. And that was a sick match. Yeah. That was dude. I mean, the Hall of Fame show, we've already talked about this many times on this show, just because I feel like anybody who goes and's been there many times is an advocate for it now. Like, it's just that whole weekend stellar. So, and man, those shows are always a good time.
He'll be coming back here in a minute. It's just catching up, I believe.
Oh yeah,
there he is. There we go.
I got a little pop up that says I'm on my home network, but it says I can't connect. I don't know. We're okay. We're live.
But yeah, now I also got to ask too. That same night, weren't you involved with the Brian Blair stuff? Was that a retirement or something like that night at this last year's Hall of Fame?
I'm sorry. I'm having trouble hearing you guys.
Oh, no. That's all right. We'll just keep talking. If you can hear it, just jump in. But yeah, so the Hall of Fame weekends show too are great. But yeah, Brian Blair, I believe, had a retirement match. That same show. And like everybody came out, like all the boys. And then they ended up doing a turn, like Brian Blair turned. And Maddie and some other people were with him in on it.
For his retirement match,
yeah,
that sounds good.
That was a good show too. They also had Victoria or Lisa was there and wrestled Frankie J from IPW, and they had a great match where they seemed like they were like best friends, and then like halfway through, finally like Frankie turned, and then after it was all said and done, Lisa turned on her. Like, they had a stellar show last year for their main show for the Hall of Fame weekend.
Very nice. Very nice. I'm just going to pop him off for the moment till he comes back. So we'll have Matty Starr more when he can hop back on with us. So let's talk real quick about the trouble that all the wrestling promotions, the main ones, are having right now. There he is. There he is back. All right.
We back on?
Yeah.
Okay, I've done literally nothing. So if this is working, then we'll just keep going.
Nope, it's not your fault. What we found is that this happened to us last week, particularly in the evenings, because one of the places we're streaming is Facebook. There's everybody and their dog is streaming live right now. And so the networks just get a little bit chonky. But just so you know, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter /Periscope, and we're also on Twitch. And as of right now, we've got a huge mass following of our 4 listeners. We tried to give away $25 to see if somebody would be, willing to be our 6th listener. But as of right now, they're sons of bitches and refuse to take our money. So that's how it is. That's how it is. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Anyway, so we were just talking, as you mentioned, as a wrestler yourself, the shows go away because of all this, and it's more probably because you don't want to have the audience all there. But it's become really, really difficult for basically anybody in wrestling to put on a show right now. And having said that, we were talking about it a little bit before the show started. If you watched Wrestlmania last year, you got to see about a third of what Raw was last night on their go home show for the next Wrestlemania, which was kind of amazing, you know?
Yeah, I didn't even watch Raw. My whole plan for Raw last night was I'll give it the first hour, I'll go online, see what social media is saying about it, and if it seems interesting, I got a DVR and I'll hop on, and if not, I just wasn't going to waste my time. I just didn't, because I haven't made it through a full Raw the last 3 weeks. Like, I just ended up turning it, which is sad considering it's the go home from Mania. It broke my heart when I was like thinking about it, really, but.
I will say this. I mean, they had a couple of 3 matches on there, and you guys were talking about one that really looked brutal.
Oh yeah.
The thrown together tag match. That Montez Ford looked like somebody was supposed to catch him, and they didn't.
I can't tell if Austin Theory was supposed to catch him or if Seth Rollins was supposed to like grab his ankle and stop him from doing the dive.
Either way, man.
But either way,
that was rough.
Either way, yikes. Yeah. And like we were talking before the show started, like how brutal is that? Like you're Austin Theory and you're 24, 25, like you're making your big debut and there's a miscommunication like that. And I mean, they tried to cut around it, and you can't. There's nothing. There's no crowd cuts. Like there's no one there, so you can't do anything. But I felt bad for Austin Theory. I felt bad for Montez Ford too, because that guy is gonna be a big deal.
Oh yeah, he's got the ability on the mic. He's so athletic. And I don't know if I've ever seen anybody jump higher off the top rope than him. I mean, he gets so much elevation when he jumps off of that rope. It's crazy.
Well, that, and I'm just talking like as soon as that red light comes on the camera, that dude is on point. Like, I mean, like it reminds me of The Rock. Like when that red light comes on, that dude is on the money. His promos are fantastic. And he can, if he's doing a call and answer type promo with the crowd, he's got him, in his hand, or if he's just delivering a message, like dude, that guy, I'm a huge fan of that guy. Montez Ford is awesome. He's going to be a really big deal.
The other couple of live matches was there was a squash match between Aleister Black and somebody, and a squash match between
Jason Kidd.
Yeah, and a squash match between Asuka and somebody. And then we had, was that it? There was another. I don't know. Maybe there was another. Maybe there wasn't. Oh, there was. Yeah, I don't know. I get so confused. I can't remember it all because, what happens is when they start showing the replays, I'm like, I should do something else. I've seen this. But I will say this: all the promos that people did were very, very good. And I think, I don't know why, but I think the fact that there was no audience there, they did better because they had to focus on what they were saying versus trying to stir the audience up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think the presentation, their focus, they have to be by design now because there's no people. They can't, I think sometimes, in a lot of facets, people go with what's easy or what they know. And I think a lot of times it feels like when I watch the producers are bouncing around, they're really worried about catching different crowd shots. And I don't know if you want to count that as a crutch, but like I feel now they can't do those jump cuts to fan reactions. They have to focus on what's going on. And I think it's making everybody step up. And I think it's working out well for them. I think it's pushing the guys in the back too to really, hopefully they realize, hey, we don't need 50 jump cuts to different reactions. Let's get let's get what we're presenting, let's get the wrestling. And, if there's something cool, we can cut to whatever. But like, I've always said people don't tune in to Raw to watch the crowd.
Right.
They tune in to watch what's going on in the ring. So like, they've been killing it.
Yeah, I've enjoyed what I saw. Again, I didn't watch all of it though, but so Taker's going. What is Taker doing at Mania? Is he what is this that he's going to become? Is it American Badass then? Is it old Taker? Is it like a hybrid? Is Limp Bizkit coming now? Is that not happening? And it's also weird that we're going to talk about Mania like it hasn't happened yet, knowing that this has already.
That's all happened. That's I'll tell you what. That's one of the things that I'm curious about, and we still have Friday, but I'm wondering how, because they keep promoting Goldberg and Roman Reigns, and we know it's not happening. We know it isn't going to happen. I just keep wondering how they're going to change that up on Friday to have it make any sense. I mean, they'll do it. They'll come through with it, I'm sure. But it's just one of those things where, man, they just keep pushing it. And it's like, hey. And it's like everybody knows, I think Maddie's froze up there.
Okay. Yeah. And I didn't realize it, but I guess a lot of people were hating on Roman from what he put out on his.
Yeah, I mean, and that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, he made a response to it, talking about people who were complaining that he pulled out, which, and then he said something that was kind of funny. It's like, it's funny, like for years, people begged me not to go to Mania, and now I'm not going, and you're all mad. And I was like, well, yeah, it's because you just stuck us with Goldberg, Yeah. But either way, though, like we said it last week on the show, like it was ludicrous for them to think he was even going to go or even try to make him go if he didn't want to, because yeah, he is at more risk, being that he is, recovering from what he just went through this last year or two. So, like, that is pretty crazy for WWE to be like, yeah, man, you need to be there. We don't care about what you just went through. You still need to be there.
So, anyway, that's what happened. That's what happened yesterday. And really, pretty much that was it. Although I will say Paul Heyman and Brock did a great promo, although Brock just stood there. But that was a nice promo that he did. I thought it was as far as trying to get people to watch, I think he did a good job.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I'll watch it because I don't have anything else to do, but I'm sure not going to pay extra for it. And it's just situational. It's just like with any of this. And you go back, let's go back real quick to AEW on Wednesday.
Yeah, it was a good show.
It was a good show. For me, I think the thing that stuck with me was the thing that came at the end with Jericho and Matt Hardy. And first of all, two things stuck with me, and it's both the new guys. It's Brody Lee and Matt Hardy. The thing with Matt Hardy hopping down with the camera tricks.
Well, now, did you hear though why that happened?
Well, because there's nobody there. They wanted to do something, right?
But like they retaped that ending.
Oh, they did.
They had something else, and it might have been to the same effect, but they did something different with it. And then Jericho got there or saw it the night before and was like, "No, I don't like it. Like, we can do something better." And they did. That's what they came up with. He talked about it on. If anybody saw it, if you didn't, I think it's probably on his like Facebook. You could probably rewatch it. But Jericho did like an hour Q&A and sing along on Facebook.
Oh wow!
Saturday night, where you can just ask questions and stuff. Which for anybody who's going on the cruise,
yeah.
For God's sakes, I hope that's still happening. I hope we're not dealing with this mess come February. But for the sounds like the cruise will be going on sale very, very soon. So,
by the way, buy the insurance.
Yeah. Although for this, I don't think you would need to. I think for this, they would have to, wouldn't they?
No, there's no have to do anything. It's if you're going to go on that cruise, get the insurance. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. Maddie's back. We were just talking about AEW, and they did a crazy.
Nice.
The Matt Hardy doing the basically hopped section to section to get to the ring with Jericho.
It was a nice little camera trick. They couldn't do it.
when he did
Yeah.
when he did this thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Couldn't ever do that with an audience. So that was kind of cool.
I don't know. Like I'm torn on stuff like that. Like, of course, visually I like it a lot. Like I think it's cool, but I'm also kind of partial to like that's kind of the Undertaker stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. But I like that they're figuring out different ways. Like I said before, they're figuring out different ways with no audience. Screw it. Let's say, let's do something we normally couldn't do. So why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like I said, I was telling him earlier, Jericho did a live thing Saturday night, like a Q&A, and was saying that there was something was different with that ending. They retaped it like the day they taped the Dynamite for that. So I don't remember what he said that they did differently, but yeah, no, I thought
I saw something that he said he didn't like it or something. Like he didn't like how it turned out or something, but
yeah, he explained why.
Whatever they presented, I liked it.
Yeah, it came out. I thought it came out nice, and it adds something when we don't have a crowd, and since we can't be ringside anymore.
How did you feel, man? About? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's. I was like, who else besides Jericho can cut a promo on a drone, an inanimate object? Like how? So great. I think my super fandom for Jericho, like, kind of covers a lot of that up. Because I think I think knowing myself, I think if anybody else did that, I'd be like, But since it's Jericho, I'm like, it was the greatest thing ever.
He posted something after that on like his. I don't know. I follow all his stuff since I would go on those cruises now. Like, I don't know. It's like a weird thing. I'm more into Jericho now, but he had a thing where it was after Dynamite and he was in his house and the Roomba was like going around and he started just cutting a promo on his Roomba. He was like, I never liked you. You always try to hide. The thing just vacuuming away. Like,
come on.
A genius.
Now, I was going to ask.
It's just starting to crack.
I was just going to ask, what did you think of Brody Lee's little bit where he's in essence playing Vince McMahon?
Dude, I'm actually glad you asked that. A buddy of mine and I were having a talk the other day about it, and he was telling me how great it was. And like, okay, as a skit, I thought it was great. I thought if that's the character he's going to play, I thought it was awesome. Like he's a guy, like there's another guy. The minute the red light comes on, that guy's gotcha. Like he's got great presentation. He doesn't seem like he's saying lines, like you when he says whatever he's saying, I like tuna sandwiches, or, the sky's green, if he says it, you like, oh, okay, that guy believes that. And I think that's what's missing a lot in wrestling now. So I'm a huge fan of that part. But I didn't like like the wink, wink, nudge, nudge, like, hi, that's Vince. Like, you just, this is your shot to do something different. And who knows, maybe it's not his call. I don't know. I didn't like the choice of like doing a Vince McMahon impression. I'm a big fan of, like, you just left there. Especially after listening to his Talk is Jericho, which was a great listen. Like, you just got out. Give him, like, put that in your rear view, get over with what you want to do. Because if this character gets over, like, the fans are going to go, oh, he got over doing an impression of Vince McMahon, like with all the wink, wink stuff. Like, I personally would have liked it if he would have been like just doing like the with the dark order stuff, or just the really stuff. Obvious. Yep. Yeah. But the obvious wink nudge stuff, not my style.
It's
execution wise,
isn't it?
Crushed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's that?
It's kind of inside, right? And I would assume, because I know in the comedy world, you don't want to irritate Booker A or Booker B or Booker C because you want to get work. You want to work. Granted, this is a little bit different, but I also think one of the things that's really important is do your stuff and leave everybody else behind. And that's one of the things that I'm not really sure that I when people are, I want a Wednesday Night War. I don't. I want to be able to watch what I watch. Do your thing. Make yourself stand out, and everybody does their thing, and then everybody's happy. I don't think there's. I mean, I think it's funny that he did it, but I don't. I don't necessarily think that it was the smart thing.
See, one of the things that I always didn't like about Nitro during that Monday Night War era. The one thing that I didn't like is the obvious, just like when Bischoff would walk down and grab the Vince signs that say Vince sucks from the crowd and hold it up for the camera.
Yep.
Like, it always bothered me because it's like, well, yeah, but now that you're getting their audience, and give them something different. Don't just keep shoving in their face that you took them away from them.
Right.
And
I mean, to kind of side point your point there.
Yeah.
All it's doing is so now fans are now talking. Oh, did you see Bischoff acknowledge Vince McMahon? Well, now they're talking about they should be here, and they're talking about here.
Yeah,
like you're shooting yourself in the foot. I think it's counterintuitive.
Yeah, I definitely agree because you've seen Moxley come in, not really do much with that. Even like Cody and them, like they did the big, the Triple H thing at the one at All In or All Out, whichever one it was at, where he. Whatever, okay, but I mean, as far as since Dynamite's been going, anybody that's come over that was WWE, they haven't really alluded to that, and this was kind of the first kind of like
right, and they shouldn't.
Well, to be fair, it's not the first though, because
it's not, but it's more like actually pre-planned, not like Jericho just being in the ring when the fans are like shouting "We the People," and he's like, "That was a stupid gimmick."
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about Brody Lee. Brody Lee comes out the first night.
Yep.
And automatically says to Chris Daniels, "You're not the first old man that's whatever verbatim, but you're not the first old man that underestimated me." I
didn't hate that line. I didn't hate it
either because it wasn't direct.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was also still inside. But it's not the first. I mean, so my thought was, okay, you're going to take that swipe. That's fair enough.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then to have him go and do the impersonation, I don't know that. I mean, I don't know that that's going to accomplish what he wants to.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm with you. I would have I actually kind of. There goes my pop socket. I like the line. I pop for that line. The you're not the first old man that didn't believe in me or something. That's there. So there you acknowledge, like you get that pop for acknowledging where you were. Mm-hmm. But after, and you get a reaction for, it's a cute line, okay. Can you kick ass? Can you be, if you're going to drop that line, then it's on you to okay, cool. That was then, this is now. And this is what I should have been the whole time. I think that was a, I don't want to say swing and a miss, but I think just wrong play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see too, like if you see someone like the Revival come over, and if because it's kind of known you get a little bit more leeway with what you get with what talent wants to do in AEW over WWE. That it'd be interesting to see if people who come over that are bitter towards WWE, if they want to try to make that into a thing, and how far they let that go. But, like you said, it's a little line here and there to acknowledge the past, because you can't ignore it because it's out everywhere. Everybody knows that was Harper.
Correct. Correct.
But to actually make it part of your show and be like, that's what we're going to do, kind of like what Nitro was doing.
Yep.
That's where it's like.
Well, that's exactly what got Nitro in trouble. Mm-hmm. Like Bischoff coming out and saying a cute line about, Hobb, whatever, F them. Cool. It gets a reaction. Great. Like when Jericho acknowledged the "We the People" thing. Yeah. Stupid gimmick, bad creative. The ball's starting to go this way. He takes it and goes, "No, we're going this way." Like he acknowledges it, and this is what we're doing. That was cute. That's a ha 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 ha. Okay, cool. Back to this. Like that. But that's why he's Jericho, and I hope that Brody Lee can follow that example, because that dude, like I said, that's a dude, bell to bell. That dude's awesome, like legit main event dude, awesome dude. He's a good person, and when guys get out, You know, I just want to see them succeed, and I don't think that's the right choice.
Yeah, I think they'll do. I think he'll do fine though. I think they're gonna like that whole Dark Order thing's really just taking great shape. And now that he's been revealed, hopefully that can keep going forward. Hopefully it doesn't just stop now.
Isn't it amazing though, when they first started with the Dark Order, that for weeks, people were like, "What the hell is this?" And now it's like it's like you said, Ace. It's taken shape, and it's really something. It's one of the good things on that show.
Yeah, I think AEW, like I said,
Brody Lee showing up instantly made it awesome.
Yeah,
instantly made it awesome.
Yeah, and I think I said it like a month ago. Like they're still in infancy stage. I mean,
yeah,
they're still a really brand new company at what they're doing. They're still forming everything they want to do, and you know, you've seen that like the Nightmare Collective was a thing. Now it's not a thing. Things have changed, and that's fine. I think we're now starting to finally see the ideas that they want to do, because now it feels like we're getting more storylines too, more different feuds. It's not just like these two main things and then some matches getting thrown. Everything's kind of taking shape. That from 7 o'clock till at the very end at 9, I'm completely invested right now, because for that women's division.
And that's what I was going to bring up. The women's division is still very rough. It's like they're just having them on there.
There are some diamonds in the rough in that women's division.
Oh, definitely.
They have some ladies that can go. And I'm a little biased. Melanie's a friend of mine, so I'm obviously like obvious bias here. I'm admitting that, but that chick, she can go, dude. I worked with her in Chicago for years, and in a time in Chicago when there wasn't a women's division, there wasn't any women to work for her. So she was working main events with dudes. Wow. And she was and is so good that she's in there with the main event, like top level dudes, and having believable like gripping matches. So like I'm excited to see her get in the mix. I was sad to see Kong get hurt, because I've always been a fan of Kong.
Right.
I haven't seen a whole lot of Stratlander, but from what I've seen, that she's got unlimited ceiling. She's only did they say she's only like 2 or 3 years in?
Yeah, I think that was it. I think she's under 5 for sure. She's still really new at it. Now, I always had this theory, right? I always had a theory why maybe the women's division didn't
What's that now?
A great start. I have an idea, or I always had a guess of why, and I don't know if I'm right, but I know me and the Mask of a Man have talked about it. You kind of maybe thought, yeah, that might have hurt him a little bit, but we'll get into someone else's perspective on it. But I feel like maybe there was more plans for Kylie Ray, and then with that sudden exit, that might have thrown some things off track for that women's division that they had originally planned to do. I don't know. Just I feel like that first, what was it? Was it Double or Nothing? Where she had that match?
All in.
Yes, where the bow gets kicked off her head. Mm-hmm. I mean, she was super over. The perfect baby face, cute girl, can work. I feel like that was, and she was one of the first announced women signees.
Yep.
So I feel like she was the plan. And then when
she was,
so I feel like that kind of rocked them.
Yeah, like I've heard a lot of rumors, and I've got some buddies that are convinced there's something in the underneath of stuff that's going on. But her leaving hurt a lot, because I really think that Kylie Ray and Britt Baker were supposed to be like their two big, like shining stars in that division. And then when Kylie Ray left, I think they kind of looked around and went like, okay, we have Britt, but like who's she going to dance with?
Right.
And I'm not taking away from the Japanese girls, but they're like, I watch them and there's a disconnect there. They're missing something. Like athletically, they're great. Like their matches are solid, but just like, they're just, they're missing the like the watch me factor.
Yeah, I think, and I hate to always go, oh, it's the language barrier, but it's hard to
It's not.
it's hard to be invested, especially when you're putting the strap on someone. It's hard to be invested in that person and be like, she's our champ, when there's no communication except for her being in the ring and physically working.
Well, and I think part of it too is what's that?
I said at least maybe with Riho, because it was just all smiles.
Yeah, and well, I think with the problem with Riho again, like she can do some awesome stuff, but I think the problem is like she comes to the ring and she looks very timid, and she looks like like almost like turtle, like head down, and like at the end of the day, what we're doing is combat. Like we're projecting combat. So like if you watch a UFC fight and you see one of the chicks walk into the ring going like, okay, well my money's on the other girl. Now whether the scared chick pulls off the win or not is doesn't matter. But for like especially like with wrestling, the presentation's everything. So like if your champion is coming to the ring going, I don't know, like that's a disconnect for me. But then bell to bell, she turns it on and she can, like I said, she's doing some cool stuff. Her and Nyla Rose had some fun matches. I think Nyla Rose is a missed opportunity as well. Yeah, she should have been the monster heel and then turned big baby face.
Yeah, I agree.
We're gonna say one of the beautiful things about Rio is that when you weigh 60 pounds, people can throw you all over the place. And but she's also very athletic. I just kind of feel like there's nobody doing, like all the men have a storyline, sort of. At least the main guys do, right? None of the women have any kind of a storyline at all, and they think it just seems like everything's just sort of thrown together because shit, we got to do a women's match tonight. I kind of feel like that.
I feel that. I really think I think part of the problem is like I said, I think Kylie Ray leaving kind of disrupted their plans, and I who knows, maybe she was not figured in at all. I don't know, but I think a missed opportunity was I think the Riho and Nyla Rose matches were too competitive. It should have been Jeff Hardy Brock Lesnar or Jeff Hardy Undertaker. It should have been her getting her ass kicked, and there is no back and forth. I'm kicking your ass, but then when you hit your spots, it's going to be freaking awesome. And there needs to be like there was no danger, like that goes back to like the entrance thing. Like I never felt like Riho was projecting any kind of like she was in any danger, which is something that like all the top level men and women can do. And then she's just pinning Nyla Rose. Okay, well there goes your monster heel, and beating Nyla Rose didn't get your scrappy young babyface over either. So it's a failed project. I think it should have been Nyla Rose kicks her ass for 75% of the match with Riho hitting some stuff kind of in between. And then, if not, and then I think you put the belt on Nyla Rose right away. I mean, why mess around? Put your best foot forward.
We had talked about that initially because before all in, we had talked about, we thought it was going to be Nyla Rose that won.
That was my pick.
We both thought it was going to be her that won. It only made sense at that point. And then when it wasn't, and it was Riho, it was like, well, I mean, she's good, but
okay, but that reaction right there, that's not the reaction you want for your top baby face. Like it should have been fuck yeah, it should have been fucking throwing babies in the air to quote Jim Cornette. It should have been tossing babies in the air and like like if you're gonna do it where like the finish should always be your best reaction. And because I was the same way, I watched it and I was like, man, I mean, okay. Like, I mean, she's not a bad worker by any means. She's not a bad, she's very gifted, but there's just something missing there.
And I think part of that too is because we talk about this. They are very young as a company. And because I told Ace this, it's like some of this stuff I think I know for myself and a lot of the people that are watching are going to give them a pass. only because it's new and they want them to succeed. But having said that, it doesn't mean it's exactly the right thing to do.
Yeah, and then all that time we still just ended up here where we are, and that is Nyla Rose is now champ. It's like,
well, I was criticizing them 2 minutes ago, but I will give AEW credit this right now. I think they did have a misstep in that division, like we just talked about. But I think, like, dude, the past like 2 or 3 months of shows have been baller. Oh. I feel like things were kind of going off the course, and then, like, I don't know what, the past couple of months they've really corrected the course, and they're putting on, their shows are awesome. Their matches have gotten infinitely better. Every match isn't going through 2 breaks, which I think is great. Yeah. We're having some parity. Not every match has to be competitive. There has to be some, like, you're here and then there's here, like, there's different, we're starting to see different levels of performers. And with that comes, like I said, comes the parity and comes the danger. And then you can start telling stories. And I think they're absolutely on the right path. Darby Allin's going to be a huge star.
Oh God. Yeah.
I did an Evolve tryout a few years ago down in Florida, and Darby was on that show, and he wrestled Chuck Taylor. And I remember hearing about Darby, but he was relatively unknown. He got discovered through the tryout camp, like this not my camp, but like he had done an Evolve camp, and that's how he got found. And they kind of used him as the example, like, this is why you do these camps, because, like, if you show out, then, like, we'll book you. And I heard about this guy, and I was like, okay, like, sounds awesome. Let's see what he's about. And then he comes out, and I was like, oh, he's all the $150. This, and he's probably, it looks like he's put some size on now, but this is 3 years ago. He was all the $150, but when he came out, he, like, the opposite of that Riho entrance we were talking about. Like, that dude, he had fire in his eyes, and that dude looked like he was ready to, he'd fight a mountain. And then him and Chuck Taylor went out, and they had a killer match. It was basic, but it was, like, wild, if that makes sense. And it was in the Boom Boom Room in Ybor City, where there was it's a huge Mexican dance club. Oh, nice. If you watch Evolve shows, and you'll recognize the venue. But there's, like, the rings on the dance floor, and then there's, like, the support columns are around the outside. Darby Allin does, like, a coffin drop off the top rope onto Chuck Taylor on the outside. And then he grabs him, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna throw him back in the ring. Nope. He, like, throws him into the post. Taylor kind of bumps away, and Darby Allin starts doing, like, the military boot camp, like, pole crawl. Yeah. And he starts going like a cat up a tree, and starts climbing up, and he shimmies up the post all the way to the freaking roof to the ceiling. And then, and we're just like, what is this guy doing? Like, there's 30 people here. What are you doing? And he looks back, and he does that Jeff Hardy shrug when he jumped off the thing. He just goes, meh, and crosses his arms and just drops back, and to Chuck Taylor's credit, he's caught him like a pro. And I was like, oh, I get it now. This guy, and 3 years ago, I was like, this guy's it. Like, that guy, he's going to be a huge deal.
Yeah, he is.
Fun fact on that Evolve camp, I wrestled Danhausen.
Oh, nice.
On that, yeah, Danhausen was my tryout partner. So it's fun. It's fun to watch him blow up too.
Yeah, I've just kind of been seeing more about him now since. I heard about him on the cruise. I was on the Jericho cruise, and someone was dressed as him, and people. Yeah. And then
super, like, awesome dude.
Yeah, he was
awesome dude. Deserves everything he's getting.
Yeah, he was just at First Wrestling X up in the one in the mall.
Yep.
The show.
Yep.
Yeah,
I saw his bit with Orange Cassidy on that was pretty good.
Yeah, Green Mill, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, but
I don't even remember now. Now I'm way off track.
Oh, we're just talking about stars and how AEW's killing it right now, dude. They're crushing it.
when I was on the cruises, what I was gonna say is when I was on the cruises last year, Darby Allin was probably the most sought after, like as far as fans.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
I saw him so many times on those 4 days, and every time him and is it Priscilla Kelly is his lady?
Yep.
Just get mobbed like in the buffet.
Oh yeah.
Outside, like everywhere, like this not poor guy. And they were super nice and cool about it. Like everybody on that says you have to be because you're on a boat with everybody. Where are you going to go?
Right.
You know what I mean? But no, it was like people were just losing their minds for that guy.
I think Jericho put it best on that the past couple podcasts when he mentions Darby Allin. He is this generation's Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Like he is that. Like Cody was doing commentary this week, I saw, and he mentioned like Sting. And I was like, maybe because of the paint, but I get total when I heard it the first time, I was like, that's it. This dude is this generation's Jeff Hardy.
Yeah,
100%.
Same thing. When he was talking Sting, I was like, I mean, they got the face paint, but like,
no,
not the same guy. Like,
nope. Because Sting was huge, like muscular. Sting was a giant and a brick wall. That guy was a brick wall. Darby Allin's not that guy. Like Darby Allin is Jeff Hardy reincarnated 100%.
Right.
Hi. Go on, Kitty. We're trying to do a show here.
Happy Cat.
Thank you. Yeah.
So and we kind of got off the track a little bit. One of the things I like getting off the track. Don't get me wrong, because
sure.
I love the fact that you're on here and you give a whole new insight to what we talk about, which I appreciate very, very much.
There we go. No problem.
One of the things that I enjoyed, and Ace called this when they started doing the shows without audience. He said, "Well, they ought to have the boys around the ring and kind of be the audience." And they did it on AEW. They didn't do it quite the same this last show. Everybody was behind watching from the dressing rooms, apparently. And I didn't quite understand why they did that, because I felt like when they were out at ringside, I felt like it added some more atmosphere.
Oh, I 100% agree. Like when I saw they announced a crowdless show, I was like, man, that's going to be tough. Like, I bet a lot of these guys haven't been in front of crowds like that since they started. You know, like Billy Gunn and Chris Jericho and like the Cody, like those guys probably worked because they worked their way up. In Darby too, like, you know, working in front of 30 people is no big deal. But I liked their initial the presentation of it was awesome because it gave it some ambiance and it gave it it made it sound bigger than it was, because it was probably really awkward to wrestle in front of just the boys, you know, like it's probably really, you know, 2 camera guys and like the ref, and that's it. Like, but then I would imagine that they had to do it from the locker room, like with the little pip, like the pip screen, because of the social distancing regulations.
That's exactly why. I asked you about it last week, X. I said, I'm like, I bet you they're going to catch heat, and they're not going to do it next week, and that's basically what happened. Because they still have to. At the end of the day, they have to keep their arenas, like, and they don't. They, like you said, like getting bookings in comedy, you don't want to piss off promoter A or promoter B, you know, whatever. So like, if the word gets out that like you're not following regulations, you know, then potentially there's an arena that may not want to work with you. You know, if they're not going to follow our guidelines, we have to clean up after them. You know, that's all I can think of. Yeah, I still enjoyed that they were all still gambling on the matches though.
Yeah, and they did. I thought they that was a wild card. I would imagine they got kind of thrown, and they still did fairly well because they still showed them, you know, here. So there was still noise and there was still ambiance. You know, the situation sucks, but I thought they did a really good job with it.
Yeah, I've been 100% impressed with AEW since all this has happened.
I can't say it enough. When they first started, I was like, oh man, I felt bad because like I like Cody, I like Moxley, I like Jericho, and like I've been on shows when Luchasaurus was still in Lucha Underground. He was doing Chicago shows with us out in Blitz, and he's another guy that's going to be a megastar. But I was like, man, they have diamonds in the rough, but their presentation it's tough. And then just to see the turnaround they've had to put all the pieces together has been really awesome. Because like I said, they're like they said, Ace, they're killing it, dude.
Yeah, they really tightened up. All right. Should we get into the Mania card here?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
It is.
Sure.
This is
Sure.
Again the weirdest. This is usually like the best week ever. Like I'm excited. It's like the Super Bowl for me.
Yep.
And this year I'm just like, yeah, I guess I'll watch it this weekend. So what is it? The 4th and the 5th, so Saturday and Sunday. I guess they say it's going to be about 6 hours each day.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Three,
No way.
Yeah, 3 to 4 hour show with an hour pre-show. Both days is what
Man.
Unnecessary.
I thought they broke it up to 2 days to finally get out of that double digit like show length. Good grief.
Hopefully where I read this is wrong, but that was what I heard, is that they announced the actual run times and that it was still going to be about 3 to 4 hours each day, and then that hour show. So, and again, I haven't been watching SmackDown, so I know nothing about this as far as how this is progressed. But Otis versus Dolph Ziggler, obviously, Mandy Rose being at ringside. Is that still a thing?
I don't know if she's going to be at ringside or not. I didn't see that.
Picture here, so I'm assuming that she's involved.
Well, because she's the prize, baby.
Otis has knocked it out of the park with the opportunity he's got. That guy, I still am not really a big Heavy Machinery fan. Like at the presentation, it just seems kind of hokey. But like when they split him off and kind of when they handed him the ball, he's nailing it.
Definitely a standout.
Yep.
Yeah. To the point that I feel bad for his partner, because it's like, oh man,
right.
To do when they split him up, man, because he obviously is going to shine more. So we got that match. That's probably my guess is pre-show. I don't know. Elias versus King Corbin.
That's the match that was dictated by Gronk.
Oh, that's right. Okay, we should also maybe just take a guess. Everybody say who they think is going to win. I think Otis will win.
I think so. I think you get Otis winning, and then you get the big hug and kiss at the end of the. I think she turns on Ziggler, and then we get the big happy ending.
I would agree with that, and I hope for that. As a fat guy, yes.
Yeah, me too.
It reminds me of the WrestleMania 20 with Christian and Jericho. It's got that vibe to it.
Yeah.
So I could see that. I could see him doing that finish too.
Yeah, definitely. That would be great. That's it. But Trish, I got feelings for you. It's just a joke. Anyway, Elias and King Corbin. I'm going Corbin.
Yeah, Corbin. I like as performers, both these guys I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just because Elias isn't doing anything right now, I think you have to keep the steam on Corbin.
I would agree. Corbin is probably the least likable heel right now on that WWE has, and
which
is good.
Which is like
it's what you want.
Like that's 100%. Like
yeah.
That's I think the Miz stuck around for 15 years.
Absolutely.
Or 20, whatever, however long. He that guy. Yeah. Yep. He's crushing it.
All right. Now we got Aleister Black, Bobby Lashley. I'm assuming Lana is with him. The thing that makes me sad about this situation is all the Bobby Lashley, Rusev, Lana stuff was really all for nothing because nothing really came out of it.
Is Rusev out?
Yeah, I guess contract dispute is.
He's refusing to sign or whatever. So he's got re-signed because they apparently wanted him to re-sign and he's refusing. So they're just not working him. Interesting.
Okay, I didn't know that. Man, because I like the I'm a big fan of Rusev.
Yeah,
like as a human being and a worker, like he's everything you want.
Yeah,
like if you were to build like your prototypical performer, that guy's it.
Yeah, he's money. I love that dude. Yeah, I don't know. Again, this seems like just another.
It's thrown together.
Yeah,
No reason.
Yep.
No reason for Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley to even. There's no reason other than, hey, you two guys want a paycheck, which I don't have a problem with.
No.
Right.
No.
But in terms of, hey, this is WrestleMania and we must forge on and put on a show. It's like, okay, well, you guys can do something. And I feel bad because I think they both have talent. I love and Ace knows one of our favorite lines is when Rusev says, "Come on, Bob Lashley." He won't call him Bob. He says, "Come on, Bob."
I like that.
We love
it. That's awesome.
It's my favorite.
That hurts my feelings just because I know that there was contract trouble when the Rusev Lashley thing started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then because he was off for a long time, right? He was off for like 4 or 5 months off of TV. And then he came back and then like, oh, they do the angle where he's the schmuck. And I was like, they're really trying to stick it to him. But then he made it, he owned it and leaned into it, which a lot of guys wouldn't do. And made it his own. And I was starting to, I was like, all right, this is cool. And they kicked it up, and then it kind of got drug out a little bit, but then I feel like maybe they were starting to get back. And then just to hear he's out, that hurts. Cause I don't know.
Yeah. He hasn't been on since, I don't even think he's been on since he broke up the wedding. Has he? Maybe one match after that. It's been a long time.
Was it the Rumble? I don't know.
He was in the Rumble, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was. Was he on after that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
As limited as I've been able to watch, that sounds right. But that also this match hurts my feelings because also, I mean, we can talk about it here in a minute about the Undertaker match, but Aleister Black was going to be my. I was sure, and I still think for sure that it's going to be a 6-man tag instead of a 1-on-1.
Oh yeah,
I thought so because they had Aleister Black working with the club members like 3 or 4 weeks in a row, and so like I felt they were picking a fight there, and then also with Undertaker, and I was like, oh, that'd be the Booker side of me is like that'd be a badass tag match.
Yeah,
like especially after watching Roman Reigns and Undertaker in that tag, that was the surprise entrance. That match was dope. So I was like, man, that'd be a killer WrestleMania match, especially in an empty arena. Like that would be really cool. And then I heard his promo on from last night, and I was like, he's talking about, bring those guys. I'll bring my unholy trinity. And I was like, oh, that'd be awesome if it was like Undertaker and Aleister Black, and then my other surprise was going to be a one night Abyss appearance.
Oh my God, that'd be cool. What if it was Aleister Black would be. Well, what if it was Abyss and Kane?
And Abyss and Kane was going to be the other one.
Yeah.
Because how cool would that promo be? And that, like, again, imagining they're in front of 100,000 people or 80,000 people, like how awesome was like, hey AJ, you keep talking about my past, you're obsessed with me. Well, hey, I've found something from your past and I brought it. And then cue Abyss music, people flip out. I think that would I can hear that pop in my brain, and it's ridiculous.
That would be wow.
Yeah.
It would be.
That would be a WrestleMania moment.
Right.
Anyway, let's say Aleister Black.
Oh yeah,
Aleister Black beats Bob Lashley.
I'm going Bob Lashley.
Bob Lashley, huh? All right.
I'm going Bob Lashley. Yep.
Lana get involved?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Next match, Rollins versus Kevin Owens.
That's going to be a banger. That one's going to be a banger, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be a really sick match.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they're first of all, I love it when friends get to work together.
Mm-hmm.
It's because that they're like that's what they want. They want to do that, so it's going to be a good match. I'm going Owens. I always go Owens, though. I mean, he's my spirit.
I'm going Rollins with interference because there's a recent trend of not wanting to finish storylines at WrestleMania for some reason.
True.
And I think there's a little more juice in the story, but I think they're gonna have a baller match. But I think Rollins wins.
And I'll agree there. I'll say Rollins. And as much as I'd love KO to win, he ain't gonna.
Yep.
All right. Next match: Cena versus the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. This is
going to be a gimmick match too, because it's the Firefly Funhouse match, and so let's be honest, Cena's going to have to wrestle both of them.
You think?
Yeah, I like that.
He's going to wrestle Bray, and he's going to wrestle the Fiend, and they're not going to wrestle at the same time, but there's going to be some transference there. I guarantee you.
Didn't they finish, or have they taped it all already? I've heard they taped it all already.
Yeah, it's all done. I haven't seen any spoilers, but I'm just assuming. So they could, if you wrestle part of it and then stop, and then come back, and have the other persona come back, and it's just like you're shooting a movie, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Well, and yeah, if they did film it. If they did film it already, they could definitely do that, and that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Like on the opposite end of the spectrum with Randy Orton a couple years ago, where they went to the well too many times with like gimmicky stuff, and it kind of took away from the whole presentation.
Yep.
I think I'm excited now. That's sick. If you could do like. It'd be cool if you could do like you start with the Fiend and things escalate really high, and then like lights go out, lights come on, and it's Bray, and he does like I'm the innocent boy, don't hurt me, and then uses that to get an advantage, and then lights off, lights on, it's the Fiend again, and then God, that'd be sweet.
Two more questions about this match: is A, is this going to be Cena's last match, and then B,
no,
do we see any throwbacks or anything in this referring to their first run-in that happened at 30?
Well, that's what the whole basis is for the match. Is him retiring? No. Not that he's retiring. That their first run-in at Mania where Bray lost. That's the whole reason he's descended into being the Fiend. That's what they're saying at this point. That's what they're
acknowledging the Wyatt family losing to him.
Yep.
Okay.
30. Okay.
And I'm perfectly fine with that. And I honestly, man, it's just hard for me to think that John Cena is going to lose any match. But maybe given there's two guys that he's going to wrestle, maybe he loses. To
I like
Fiend,
it. I like it.
but beats, or maybe he beats the Fiend, but Mr. Rogers Bray beats him. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a real wild happen.
I don't think there's any way. God, I'm going to get a bold statement here. I don't think there's any way John Cena wins this match.
Me neither.
I don't think there's any way. I mean, I think that guy is so obsessed. Like I know it's promos and everything, but like that guy has lived, eaten, and slept wrestling, and he's acknowledged like interviews and stuff. Where like remember back with the what was that? The Nexus, when he beat like all the Nexus guys in like 3 minutes. Yep. Like he's done enough interviews about that where he talks about regretting it and how he should have put him over and so he obviously knows the business clearly, and I think there's no business in John Cena winning. Like there's no he might sell one more T-shirt design, he might sell another 100,000 T-shirts, but long term there's no money in it. I think John Cena loses convincingly to the Fiend. I think he gets his ass kicked.
I agree. I also don't see it being his last match. I think he'll be like a Rock situation where every few months to a year, we're going to see him come in and do something. He's never going to be, it'll be a while before he's actually like, all right, this is it now. But
yeah, no. I mean, yep. I'm with you, Ace. I'm with you on that one.
Now we got Taker and AJ Styles in a Boneyard match. Have we gotten any,
no details.
Yeah,
no details. This could be literally, it could be anything. the assumption, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be outside, if it's going to be a set that's been built in the performance center. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Yeah, washed up Marty Jannetty. Well, I have cleaned myself.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's
swing for the fences, brother. Swing for the fences.
Yeah. No shit.
So I mean, Boneyard match is going to be a great, like a cemetery. Is that the name of it? Like the Boneyard? Or
that's the initial that I got from AJ's promo yesterday was they showed a shovel with some dirt, and it's supposed to be a graveyard, etc. So, yeah. Maybe.
My only fear about this presentation is that it'll end up being like a what would they call that? Like the ultimate deletion or like the Bray Wyatt Randy Orton. I don't want it to be like a video segment.
I don't know.
I don't want it to, I mean, obviously it's all pre-taped already, they're done, but like, I don't want it to be like a movie.
Yeah.
I want them to have like an actual match.
Yeah.
And that's when I heard Boneyard match, my brain went back to Nitro with Vampiro and the Kiss Demon,
Yeah.
And right. That's my reaction. Oh God. I don't think they would do that, but that's my fear is that like they might try to get too cute and do like try and cover and do whatever. I think the best presentation there would be like if they want to get cute, I think they do the 6-man thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I mean I don't know.
I think at this point Undertaker wins.
No?
I just do. Restart this, there's no I mean AJ at this point is probably the best guy to work with Taker, and I think this match has been kind of constructed to sort of protect some of his physical limitations at this point, and I just think that the Undertaker's going to win because I think everybody's going to really want that, and so I'll go with Undertaker.
Nice. All right. Next is Edge, Randy Orton, last man standing match.
Oof, banger. This is going to steal the show for me. I think this is going to be match of the year contender. Like, I know people are going to say I'm crazy, but I think these two they have so many years of equity in with fans and like. So I think they're going to do a couple cool callbacks, and then I think they're going to have a banger, dude. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. And obviously, I think Edge is going to get the win on this, and then it'll be cool.
I don't think so.
You think they go long? Do you think this goes past Mania? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good.
If it does, I
don't think this goes past WrestleMania. I think Randy Orton wins, and then Edge goes away for a while.
Okay.
For a couple months, and then they go to something else.
All right.
And I'm gonna say I think Edge wins too. But I think a lot of the past Mania stories are really going to be stifled because it all depends on whether they can actually go out and perform in front of an audience anymore. Because so much of what they're doing, I think, is in terms of forward, it's hard because they kind of got to guess, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, even without the one, So I love that they're actually selling the shirts that say "I wasn't there."
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the shop. Yeah, it's WrestleMania. I wasn't there.
Oh my God.
Have you guys seen that they're talking about doing what we're doing here and showing WrestleMania here and then having like webcams with people around the outside?
Like wow, fans. That'd be cool.
I would hate that.
It would just be too distracting.
Depends on who it is.
Too distracting for me, personally. For me.
Yeah. All right. So next match we got Sami Zayn with the IC champion against Daniel Bryan, title on the line. I hope Sami Zayn wins. I like that they finally put the belt on him. Like, I hope this is I like how they did it, and how he like finally just hasn't wrestled forever, steps in with the two other guys and is like, I got this, and then gets the pin. Now he's the champ. I don't know.
I didn't realize this was a match, and because I should have known. I forgot because Braun got moved into Roman's spot, right?
Yep.
Dude, this match is going to be another banger. If they get 10, 12 minutes, which gives them about 7 minutes of in-ring time, which I imagine like for the IC belt, I assume they'll get from entrance to final bell, I would say they'll probably get 15 minutes.
Sure. And
this is going to be, man.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Hearing you say that matchup got me excited. Like they can go.
Yeah, and I think Sammy's going to win that. I think does he still have Nakamura and Cesaro? I don't know if they'll be around.
Yeah,
interfere at all, but
how cool is it that both these guys on the Indies weren't talkers at all. Especially Zayn, and to see a guy whose gimmick was all he says is see or no, and to see him like turn into this performer has been super fun.
Yeah. What do you think, X?
I will say Sami as well, because I think
yep.
Daniel Bryan's at a spot now where I think he's pretty happy to help put other guys over, and the whole thing with Drew Gulak is kind of working out with the mentorship kind of thing, and I really kind of like where that's going, and I think he'll go ahead and lose, but it won't hurt him a bit.
I would love tag matches with I would love 6-man tag matches because I saw Chad Gable chiming in. I would love Daniel Bryan, Chad Gable, Drew Gulak against Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn. Yeah, that would be the matches those guys could have.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, all 6 of that would be just amazing. So moving on, now we got this is the Raw Tag Team Championships, and this one. So Street Profits, Austin Theory, and Angel Garza. I guess this is in question, or no, it shouldn't be. Would it be? Raw, right? Raw.
In question for what?
Is Montez going to be able to go anymore?
Oh God! Oh, did it come out that he got hurt after the thing?
People were saying that he probably got pretty hurt on it. He posted something on on social media, some like GIF of something where they're like, I broke my back, and now people are like, he broke his back.
Oh, do you guys follow Jason Ayers on Twitter at all?
I don't think I do. No.
He's one of the refs up there, and he tweeted he had the clip of the flip, and then he put the GIF from Major League. Vaughn goes for the corner. Oh, just outside. I probably watched that probably 10 times in a row. That shit was so
God.
Good.
Yeah, so hopefully, because I guess I don't remember, was Raw's not live? That's all pre-taped now.
No,
I would imagine all this stuff has been taped.
Yeah.
Okay, so that should hopefully still happen.
Did the Performance Center? It's closed, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah, no one's there except for like whoever has to be for this.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and they're all in the same hotel apparently, and
locked it down. They're not allowed to leave.
Yeah, it's
Jesus.
Heavy business.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't think the Street Profits are losing unless he actually seriously really did hurt his back and is going to be out. I don't see.
Yeah, like I was saying before we went live, Montez Ford is going to be a big deal. That dude is money. Especially if he puts on like another 15 pounds, which the older you get, you naturally put on size. But like that dude, he's going to be a big deal.
Oh yeah.
And I also would say the Street Profits, because frankly, this match is for no real reason.
It kind of isn't, no.
Well, I mean, if
as far as there's no real feud going,
thrown together. Let's put it that way.
But I will. Right, but it's cool to see Garza get on that stage too, because that guy, that dude's sick. Like that dude's super good.
I will say this: Zelina Vega is really. I would like to see her wrestling more, but she's really like almost one of the best managers that there's been in a long ass time.
Yeah.
Yep. They're really making her look intelligent, devious, everything you want in a heel manager, and I love it.
And like a good manager, like not just she's not a hot girl that's out there by the ring,
right?
And what's really working to her advantage too is her size. Because what happens on TV with managers is eventually they have to start working matches. Like that's how they write. That's how they write TV. And she is so small, which a lot of those girls are small anyway. Mm-hmm. But like to her credit, it's worked out. She's so much smaller than the other girls that like it would really show how, you know, it would kind of pull back the curtain a little bit. So I think they not being able to work matches. I mean, because she's wrestled on the indies forever. Like she can go, but I think her being that small has been her biggest weapon because she has to do the underhanded stuff and they can't write her into a corner. You know, she has to be a heel manager, and like you said, she has been a breath of fresh air because they haven't had managers. The last heel manager I remember is Armando Estrada.
Oh,
and then what happened to him? They had him start wrestling matches. Yeah. You know, but yeah, this dude, she's legit, man. Yeah, she's super legit.
And it's just it's nice to see it because it's a lost art.
Yep.
You know, I'm a guy that grew up on Bobby Heenan, you know, so like I love a good manager. All right, so we got the SmackDown women's match: Bayley versus Lacey Evans versus Naomi versus Sasha Banks versus Tamina. Fatal 5-way elimination match. This has got to be all just a setup for her and Sasha to kind of get in each other's face, right?
Wasn't it a six pack?
Dana Brooke got pulled because she got sick.
She is in quarantine.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but it does suck because that was like I think Dana Brooke's first actually on the show match. I think she's done like a pre-show or a battle match, but like she was actually involved here, and I feel bad because she's a really good talent and really hasn't gotten a chance.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do with this because they haven't really been doing anything with Bayley anyways. So it's gonna be Bayley or Sasha. I mean, I think it's all built into their feud anyways. So
I would say it's going to be Bayley, only because further down the line, you know, I think something will happen between her and Sasha for sure, but I think she'll keep the title.
I think the obvious choice would be either Bayley or Sasha, because a lot of times with the guys and the girls, these matches on the big shows are just, you know, like thrown together just to get people on the show, and they don't like, they're full of guys and girls that like haven't had any TV time forever, but you know, they're there to be placeholders, you know, or, you know, which sucks because like a lot of those girls are like their women's division is dope. Like their girls can go.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to see them actually be able to do something cool on WrestleMania in a group setting, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. I just don't have high hopes for that one. All right, we got a few more. This is not done yet.
Are we still on day one?
I don't know. I don't have.
Are we still talking about day one?
That's one thing. They didn't give the breakdown of which shows were going to, or which matches were going to be on which night. With the exception was that they kind of indicated that Reigns and Goldberg were going to close out one, and Brock and McIntyre were going to close the other one. But I kind of feel like at this point, it's that Becky and Baszler are going to close one night out, and they'll probably close out Friday, and Brock and McIntyre.
I'd be fine with that too.
All right. This is the a triple threat ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Champions: Usos, with Miz and Morrison and the New Day, Kofi and Big E. I mean, that's just a lot of action right there if they let him actually do some stuff.
Ladder match between those guys, the Usos. Basically, it's two faces teams against a heel team. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind if New Day wins.
That's tough.
I don't mind if New Day wins. I would rather have New Day win than the Usos, to be fair. And if Morrison and Miz win, I don't mind that either. But I'm not really too invested in this match anyway. So
yeah, I think it's going to be one of those ones. What was it 32 in Dallas? Was it like that? Like the IC ladder match? I think it's going to be one of those. I think it's going to be like cool, a bunch of wild stuff, and then I think you're going to get a predictable New Day finish.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go with retain.
which I'm okay with.
Yeah. I mean, I'm cool with any of them, but I think Miz and Morrison might hold on to it for a little while. Look at this. Your girls, the Kabuki Warriors, are actually going to have a title match against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for the women's tag champions. I mean, I think storyline-wise, it could go either way because you can do anything with either of these teams. I'm always partial to Bliss and Cross, so...
Yeah, and I'm always partial to Asuka. Although I got to tell you, the just yelling for no yelling in Japanese, that's her new gimmick. It's like, you know what? She was better when she didn't say anything. And I don't know.
Yeah,
it's to me. I love the green mist. She hasn't used the green mist a long time. Maybe she wins with the green mist again. I love the green mist. I love the fact that she's doing all of that stuff. And having said that, I like Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross as well. I mean, I'm happy with whoever wins. Of course, I'm going to hope that Asuka and Kairi Sane win, only because I got to tell you, Manny, I follow Asuka on her YouTube channel, which I don't understand a stitch of what she says on there either.
Yeah.
But she's just, to me, very entertaining.
That goes back to what we were saying about Riho earlier. It's not a language barrier, man. Yeah. Like Asuka comes out and she's, hey, you're watching me. Like, and the audience goes, yep. And then she goes out and crushes it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I think Asuka and the champs are going to win, and I'm going to predict a finish. I think Alexa Bliss pulls Nikki Cross into the mist, and then sells her out, and then because I think Alexa Bliss sells her out.
I love that idea.
Got a Bliss heel turn, goes back heel.
I mean, not that I don't enjoy her in any form because she's a great performer.
Oh yeah,
but her as a heel, she's that. I think that's her lane. I really think that's when she's at her best.
She plays a mean girl so well. All right, so Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler, Raw Women's Championship. This is an interesting one because I keep hearing these rumors that like Vince is still not sold on Shayna Baszler.
Really?
That's what I've heard from the interwebs.
Interesting.
My
take on the whole thing is this.
Because I was real quick. I think she was supposed to win the Rumble, wasn't she? Like I think
Shayna was.
Original plans was she was supposed to win the Rumble, and they like that day changed it because he was just unsure. So
remind me, who was it? Charlotte won, right?
Charlotte won. It was her and Baszler at the end, and
okay,
Charlotte won.
Oh, that's right.
I'll say this. I mean, as much as I like Becky and how she's kind of built into where she is now, I think the last few months there's just a lot of construct with her character that is unnecessary, and she's not really a face. She's an arrogant face, and to me, I don't like her nearly as much as I did, you know, on her way up. She got to the top of the mountain, and now she's not. I mean, it's not the same. And and Asa and I were talking about this before too. She comes driving up in her Becky Lynch painted semi truck, and it's like, oh well, you want her to be Stone Cold, and like you said, it's like, oh, I thought that was just somebody that took a picture of it. No, well, you pay to have a goddamn semi truck painted up like that. You got to use it more than once, right? So, having said that, I think Shayna Baszler she comes off as a great beast. She is literally, she could be a female Brock Lesnar easily. I really feel bad about the fact that the neck biting bullshit, because that really.
Is she still doing that?
No. The one time, and it was just so
Okay.
ridiculous and over the top ridiculous. And then the comeback with Becky driving herself to the hospital and driving back. It's like, well, it wasn't that goddamn bad then, was it? And so this whole kind of when they start stirring stuff up and trying to micromanage shit, and it goes right out the goddamn window, and I'm like, why? You know, it was fine. There, you didn't need to tinker with it.
You know what they've done? Becky Lynch came up and got over as, you know, Stone Cold. She was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and now she's Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
She is now Conor McGregor, and she went from the most popular, naturally organic, mega over star to now has a split audience, because there are people that, like, she still gets good reactions, but now like you said, like they've messed with it a lot, and they've kind of booked her into a corner a little bit, and now she's not just like, hey, screw you, let's drink beer and fight. Now she talks a lot about it, and now Shayna Baszler is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah,
like, you know, like she's like, yeah, like you said, she's Brock Lesnar. She's I mean, she's whatever. Think of any top heel monster, guy, and that's her. Like, she doesn't have the size, but like gimmick wise and performance wise, that's who she is. They took their eye off the ball, and you know, if they don't, there's a bunch of stuff they could do, but if they're not careful, they could really hurt both presentations.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to just say Becky Lynch is going to win, though.
Yeah, and having said that, as much as I'd like Shayna to win, she's not gonna.
Yeah, I would like it a lot if Shayna won, but it's tough, man. I think Becky's going to do it.
Plus, I don't see them having too big. I think you're. I don't see them having too big upsets either, because the next match, it would be Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair for the NXT Championship, and I still just don't see Charlotte Flair going back to NXT. I mean,
I do.
Do you?
I do for sure.
I think. I mean,
they want eyeballs. They want eyeballs on that show so bad. Like, I think Charlotte going down to NXT for 3 months and being the champion there, and then building back up to SummerSlam to a rematch with Rhea Ripley. I think that's where the money's at, dude.
Now, do you think it will help though? Do you think that's a big enough draw to take eyes off Dynamite?
I think that's the goal. I mean, obviously that's the goal. I think it's kind of the Shayna and Becky thing. If you let them just be themselves, hell yeah. Because Charlotte can talk her ass off. She can work her ass off. Rhea can work her ass off. I've only heard a couple of her promos, and I've liked them. Mm-hmm. So like, if you just leave them alone, which they're not going, you know. But I mean, if it's up to them, hell yeah, dude. Have Charlotte win that title, and then you could build your NXT program around them, and then that's going to be the big middle finger to AEW on Wednesdays. Hey, we have a kick-ass women's division.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, obviously that's what we said the first time we knew that was going to happen. It's like, well, I mean, makes sense. They want to pull Charlotte to NXT to try to draw it. You know, he got back there now. You have Kevin Owens saying, I'd go back if that was an option, you know.
Well, and she could do both. Charlotte could easily do both.
She definitely could. So, yeah, her, Rhea Ripley, I don't know. I mean,
I'm going Charlotte. I don't think there's any way Rhea wins.
I don't see, and I don't see how Charlotte can't lose. I mean, it can't not win. Whatever that. I don't see.
Like that'd be really damaging.
It would be terrible for her if she lost.
Since she's like their top women, like they hold her up so high. So yeah, I'm gonna go Charlotte as well. And then I get it. So it is Braun Strowman now and Goldberg for the Universal Championship.
Now, before we get to this, I'm just wondering if either of you have any kind of inkling as to how they're going, because they've been up until today, they're still promoting that it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. How in the hell are they going to switch this on Friday? Because they're not going to switch it until they can't switch it until Friday. They got no programming until Friday, and unless they make a press release, everybody is known. And for a long time, Roman wasn't going to do it, and because he wants to be home, and it's perfectly sensible for him to be home. But how in the hell does the company keep promoting it when they know that everybody knows it isn't going to happen?
From what I've heard, the stories about the front office, especially Vince, I think when he gets something stuck in his craw, he's going to go, screw it. This is what we're doing. And he's going to put his foot down and say, we're doing it. And they can and they can just deal with it.
Yeah. Cause I think it would be weird.
I think the presentations.
Oh, go ahead.
Nope. Did I lose you guys already?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a case of like we've announced it, and then we're just going to do it, and then if they don't like the surprise, they don't like the surprise.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's going to be kind of a FU. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, it seems odd that they would hold off not saying anything about it till Friday for TV purposes, being that everything's been pre-taped. So, yeah, I don't know what.
Right.
I mean, I obviously, no matter what, Goldberg's winning. That's my guess. So, at least now, I mean, if it's Braun, I don't see him. Maybe Reigns was going to win, but I don't
see how they can substitute Braun for Roman at a late last minute kind of thing and expect him to win. But maybe I just don't see it. I mean, you got a guy that's in we've talked about this, Ace. They've turned Braun Strowman into the Big Show, and comedy relief, and there's no way that he can beat Goldberg. I don't think.
No, I agree. Goldberg's not going to lose.
Dude, 2 years ago when Strowman and Reigns were wrestling on Raw, and Strowman was flipping shit over and running through ambulance doors, and like, dude, that's the Strowman that they should have put the belt on. Yes. They should have just said, screw it. Reigns will still be here. Strowman may not be here, in a year from now. So you got to that's a classic case of strike while your iron's hot, and they should have popped him there because he's never gotten back.
Yeah, they should have never added Kane to him and Brock back when that was going on, and he should have came.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
When that happened, you just knew he wasn't getting that shot ever, and not at least for a long time.
Yep.
So.
And now oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, think of it like the level of over he was then to now, like, and not to disparage the good name of Sami Zayn, but now he's wrestling. He was gonna wrestle Sami Zayn,
right?
Yeah. Not saying they won't have a kick-ass match, but like presentation wise,
presentation wise, cool.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
The match would have been good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things though, where I mean, and people that are detractors of WWF and critics are always saying that for whatever reason, and obviously we don't have the insight into the creative part of it, but it seems like there are certain people who aren't even paying attention to what's going on when they do the show, when they see people getting over organically, that they just like, oh, well, this isn't part of our plan. We'll take him off TV for a little bit, or let's make him, and I don't understand that. Granted, I'm not there, but it just seems to me like they don't pay attention to what's going on with their own product.
I disagree a little bit. I think they pay attention. I just don't think they know how to connect in today's world. Like, because how did Stone Cold and The Rock get over?
Yeah,
they just went out there. They went out there and talked their shit. Like same, like think of the greats, like Hulk Hogan, Jake the Snake, like Ric Flair, all those guys. They went out there, they talked their shit, they did their shit, and they were just themselves. And now you have, you have guys now that are reciting lines. Like I've had buddies that have been up at, like they've done extra work, and I got friends that work there, whatever. But like, there's all these stories, and I've seen pictures of like script. They get handed, hey, this is your 1 minute promo. Yeah. Oh, what? And it's not even like here's bullet points, get the point across. It's this is what you're saying. So like, could Stone Cold or The Rock get over like that? Maybe, because they were elite level talkers. But like, man, I don't. Something happened in the past 15 years where the grip has gotten tightened as far as like creative and stuff like that. Because I have a hard time believing that they don't know what to do, or that they wouldn't pay attention to the stuff they're doing. I just think that they think they're doing right and they're not.
Yeah, and you see that with AEW now too, because you can see that they're getting freedom when they cut their promos, and that it's coming off way more believable. You get, you get involved. You're watching it, being like, yeah, right. Like, and even when Jake came back, it was like, I'm in. He said 2 words, and I'm like, I'm in. Yep.
And I think part of it too is the like we mentioned it earlier, I think they struggle with they do so many jump cuts. They're cutting here, show this fan, cut to this promo quick. Like, how many times have you seen it where someone does their entrance and they cut to backstage for like a minute long promo, then they go to commercial, then they come back and they go to the announcers, and then the announcers talk, and then all the while the guy's sitting in the ring with his music playing, and then they cut back to the match. Like, that's just going to start. Yeah. I think they're just trying to cram too much stuff, and they're not letting anything breathe. Like, the guy just made his entrance. What's he out there for?
Right.
I'm not going to sit around for 8 minutes and fucking flip. And I'm a wrestling fan. Get me out of here.
That's another thing. And we brought this up. I don't remember when was it, Ace? I don't remember what show it was. They played Roman Reigns' entrance theme 3 times in a night. Because you remember that? He first comes out and they play his theme. And then he makes some announcement. And then he comes out again and they play. And then he comes out to do the actual match and they play it again. And I'm like, what in the hell? Why? Yep. It's just to fill time. I also wonder sometimes if and I can only say Vince because he's if he feels like he doesn't want to have another Rock, another Cena, where he needs them, but he doesn't. They're so over and don't need him. You know what I'm saying? And so he wants to control it. So they need him, but if it turns the other way, he can't handle it.
That's what I'm saying. Something happened.
Yeah.
Like in the past, since those guys left, and maybe it was the fact that like he lost Stone Cold to injury, and then Rock left, and then Brock left, and then like maybe it was just kind of like that mini mass exodus that like freaked him out. But something happened that rattled his belief in the performers to where now he has to overproduce.
Yeah.
And you can't have good, and not just, this is any creative content. Should go with comedy too, movies, anything. If you overly micromanage, then the creativity is no longer there. Then the performer doesn't feel it anymore. And then you're going to get I'll read the words on the script, but now I don't give a shit. And now I'm just, you beat the performer down.
Yeah. And
then you get what we have, which is nothing great.
Speaking of, has anybody seen EC3 lately?
Not on TV. I guess I didn't. I guess
I've seen his name on Twitter.
Yeah, right. I guess him, Braun, Rockstar Spud, and like a couple other guys have their own show that they do on YouTube now. I guess I stumbled upon it the other day. But like, yeah, but again, that's just, you see some really good names come through, and then nothing happens for them, and then they're not there.
It's just frustrating.
It is. But we're at our main event finally.
There you go.
Weekend.
I will say I have 11% battery left, and every time I try to plug my phone in is when the connection goes bad.
Sure.
So
we'll get it done. We'll get her done.
Okay, no worries.
So Brock Lesnar, McIntyre, WWE Championship. McIntyre has to win.
Yeah,
dude. Going back to that Evolve thing I did a couple years ago. That's when he was doing indies, and it was during his sabbatical. Okay. And that dude, like, so we were, we're the trainees, we're the tryout guys. So like everyone's coming in, getting ready for the show. We're all like in the jobber corner, just we're here to say hi and just, what do you need? We'll get out of your way, whatever. Not that anyone was ever rude to us at all, because it wasn't the case, but McIntyre was the only guy that went out of his way. He came up and shook every one of our hands. There's probably 15, 20 guys there. And he had it was only a few minutes, but he had a personal conversation with every single one of us. Hey, how you doing? How long you been working? What do you, where are you from? Why, what brought you here? What drives you? Like, it was like, and it wasn't just, hey, how you doing? Hey, like, buffet style going down the line. Like, he had like a personal, like, conversation with us. And I was like, that's fucking really cool. Yeah. And in a fake world, we live in a really pretentious business. We work in a really pretentious business, and to get that moment of realism for the 5 minutes we talked, and for him to give a shit, because he didn't have to at all. So he was super cool. And then he had a killer match. He worked Riddle in the main event, and they crushed it. It was so awesome. And then like, a month later, he debuts on NXT. So like, to see, like, I was a fan of his anyways. So I like personally, like, seeing a guy like that, like a genuine dude like that, I was super happy for him, but I feel bad because he should have his crowning moment in front of 100,000 people.
Yeah,
and he's not going to get it.
That's the bummer. I mean, you saw the reaction at the Rumble. You knew it was going to be just huge when he wins.
Yeah,
but man,
the only bigger pop was Edge.
Yeah, really.
That was it. Yeah, and then and even with that, you're competing against the main eventer that was there for 15 years before you walk in the door.
Right.
So that's a pretty good second place.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's gonna be sad. I mean, it'll be a cool match though. It'll be nice to just finally see Brock actually get beat up a little bit. Like, this is the one big new thing in this whole feud is, he's so untouchable.
Yep.
Now we're seeing he's not. So that's been fun.
Now, the question is, do you think, since there's so many matches, do you think they do the Goldberg match and just have it be like 3 minutes, boom, 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 Claymore kick, done? Or do you think they have, like, they try and do like a 20-minute banger? What do you think?
I feel like it goes longer than a normal Brock match.
Yeah.
Because I think by doing that, it helps build McIntyre up more.
Sure.
I mean, because let's be honest, I think I'm trying to think if there was any matches that Brock ever had that were just real quick that he lost. And I don't think so.
Goldberg at Mania.
Well, yeah, that's only because Goldberg couldn't do shit.
Well, right. But I mean, but correct.
Yeah,
but like that,
right,
but that match, but that match was like I was at my buddy's house and we're just like, oh, okay, ding, ding, ding. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And all of a sudden Goldberg's cool. Like all the haters, like, all the, whatever hate Goldberg, anti-Goldberg people were like, oh, he just kicked Brock's ass. Like, that's not nothing. I mean, it's not everything, but it's definitely not nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's going to go longer because I think ultimately Brock is going to get the title back because of what Heyman said. He'll get it back. I don't know when. Hopefully McIntyre will get to hold it for a while because he certainly deserves it. But I just don't think it's going to be a quick match. I think there's something to be said for Brock's ability to make people look good. And by doing it quickly, I think they don't use that ability. And I think he's probably more than willing to help McIntyre go over bigger than just a real quick one.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
And I think McIntyre will hold it till, I would say, SummerSlam. He's going to get another big stage to at least come out as champion when there's a crowd. Like, they're not going to have him win it and then he loses it
but I could see them do it because SummerSlam's in what, August?
Yeah. So they'll have money. Next?
Maybe, but I could see them doing it like doing the Benoit thing where like he wins it, he and then like 2 or 3 months down the road he loses it to someone you wouldn't think he would lose it to, just so and then at SummerSlam where then like X said he can get his big win like in front of the crowd that he deserves to win it in front of.
Yeah. Oh, damn you, coronavirus, ruining my WrestleMania.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's the card. It's going to be one hell of a weekend. It's going to be a long weekend.
It's going to be a long weekend.
Sure. Yeah, man. We also did watch, anybody who's still with us or who watches every week, we did do our, what do we call it? Throwback?
Old school review.
Old school. I forgot the name. The old school review. We did watch WrestleMania 3. We'll probably talk about it next week, though.
Yeah, I think
we've gone right tonight. But yeah, we did watch that, and that was some. Did you enjoy it? Did it bring back great memories for you, Max?
It did, I mean, and as we said before, we were talking a little bit. I love watching certain matches. Steamboat and Savage was for a long time. And maybe still by many people, one of the best matches ever. And it really was. I loved, and I've always loved Andre. Andre and Hulk Hogan was really good compared to what it could have been. And there was
especially because at that point, Andre couldn't do anything.
Right. And there were some other things in there that I sort of didn't remember because they certainly were not big deals then. But like Coco Beware against Butch, was it the Natural Butch Reed? I might get his name, but that was a match. Kind of unremarkable, but back then, they weren't doing as much in terms of the acrobatics as we see today.
No, it was definitely a different time. And there was way more matches on that card than I thought there were.
Me too.
Watched it back.
There's a lot of 5-minute or less matches on that show.
Yeah, definitely is. Yep. So we'll definitely dive into that show next week. Maddie, man, thank you again.
So much fun having you on.
Anytime, dudes. It's been super fun.
Yeah, and we will, once shows start happening again, we'll definitely be making a trek. I was going to come to the anniversary show.
Oh, nice.
Was going to be this next week, I think, right? Or
I think so.
I had all plans of going to that show, and then all this happened. So once kick back up, me and X will have to make a drive down and check you guys
for
out.
sure.
Say hello.
Absolutely, guys.
And of course, the Hall of Fame weekend with IPW.
That's correct.
There, I'll be there. X will be there. Wes and I will be doing another live show, I believe, this year at it, so that'll be fun. As long
Sweet.
as all this stuff is blown over by then.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the most
Yep.
weird thing is like not knowing when the end in sight is for all this, but
Yeah.
All right. What's your battery percentage right now, Maddie? Battery percentage.
Dudes, it's been. Oh. I think I'm starting. My phone's about to die, so I'm probably gonna lose you guys. But it's been super fun. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Take care, my friend. And for all of you that are watching and have been watching, we look forward to seeing you again next week on the Masked Comedian Xcast.